Okay, well, here we come. Here we come. Let's see if we are live. It shows we are live on both streaming platforms. So let's get after it. Okay, so if you are joining us for the first time, I just want to say thank you so much for either jumping on YouTube or jumping on our Facebook group, The Marketing Edge. We are super excited that we are able to go into two locations, and we are going to talk today. We have 30 minutes. So I originally had a thumbnail that I put five AI lead flows, but I talked to my AI, I talked to my assistant, and I was like, there's no way I could cover five in 30 minutes. So we're going to go talk to three. So, and I want to preface this by saying that every lead generation system works. It's just they work at different levels. They work at different types of conversion. And the way we used to do leads, or the way we still may do leads, is open houses and FISBOs and expires and things that are more traditional in their approach. And it's not that they don't work anymore. It's not that they're necessarily dead, but people just don't communicate the way they used to. We don't. I don't know about you, but if you call me on my cell phone, I'm not going to answer if I don't have you saved in my phone. I have a great voicemail that you can listen to, and but the reality is I'm not going to answer it, and most people are the same way. So how do we actually engage people who are looking to buy or sell as an agent, or how do we engage our clients in a way and find them where they are at? And AI has come along, most of us know, and I am not the expert in AI, but I do use it not only in the multiple businesses I run, but I also am on it, researching it probably at least an hour a day in the evenings, either Claude or ChatGPT or one of the AIs inside of the software platforms that I use. And so I wanted to bring it because you may not be using it at the level that you could be. And the great thing about it is these three lead opportunities are right here sitting in front of you. And so I want to make sure that as you're looking at them, I'm actually started using it in our own real estate platform. We've started using it in the coaching platform with our CRM. It's called Beacon. It sits on top of Go High Level. So, but we push it out to the agents who want it. And these templates that we've got are basically to engage potential clients at a point where no one else is talking to them. So let's go ahead and get into number one. Number one is market neighborhood analysis. Now, you may be thinking that you know what a neighborhood report is or a neighborhood analysis. The old way of doing it is we would get data either from maybe county or local or state or even national, and we would send out an email, or we would send out a text, or we would send out some type of flyer that talks about national data. And the reality is no one's listening to that. No, vast majority of people are not listening to noise around national statistics, because we all know that real estate is hyper local, right? And it can vary. Like, I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and we know that it can vary from suburb to suburb, from not even city to city, but inside the city, right? So how do we as agents become the local expert for those people who are looking to possibly move into the neighborhood or sell and move out of the neighborhood? How do we give them that information? Well, the great thing about it is with AI now, we have the ability to do that at scale. So here's some thoughts on how to do it. Again, we're using this and testing this in our own systems. So if you want to come along, just join the group. I think there's a link inside the description, The Marketing Edge. It's free. It's a free coaching group that we have. And make sure you subscribe to the button, or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching us on YouTube. So every month All you do is you get hyperlocal information. So either by zip code or by subdivision, and pull it out of your MLS. Okay. Now there's other ways to do this. If you are connected with a title company that runs Altos, there's a local title company that I'm affiliated with that runs a software called Altos. It brings live data per zip code into a feed that you can pull. So pull this information, drop it into ChatGPT, and create a market update specific for that neighborhood. Average days on markets, what's sold, what's coming, what buyers need to know. ChatGPT will help build that template for you. Okay. So once you've got that template built, now you need to put it in some type of software, some type of CRM that you can generate it monthly. Okay. That you can actually send it out monthly. We use High Level. If you know what Go High Level is, it's a great platform, but there's other platforms out there that has the ability to do that too. You've got a lot of different CRMs in the real estate space that have the ability to be able to have templated systems, whether it's sequences, they call them by different names, but create an actual template where you can drop in this information based off the data that you're pulling, and it will create a market neighborhood report specifically for that neighborhood. So I'm talking like no more than like 200 to 400 area neighborhood. Okay. You can actually pull that data from the MLS or pull it from a company like Altos, and you'll be able to pull that information, put it in ChatGPT, make a template, okay, and then drop it into your CRM and do that every single month. Once you do it, you'll have the template, and now you have it going every month. It'll take you about an hour a month to create this for every single person in your database, okay? Because most of us, if you're not international, most of our reports are going to be somewhere within the neighborhoods or the towns that we live in, right? So it's not necessarily going to be 1 per 5 people. It may be somewhere between 50 to 100 people in your database. And how many people you have in your database is going to depend on how many templates you need to make, but the template's going to be the same, and you just drop in different data based off of where they live. Okay. So if you're going to do that, again, remember, it's a neighborhood report. Okay. And it's hyper local. So by the subdivision, by the zip code, so that they know what their market is in any given month, so that when they're making decisions on whether it's time to buy, time to sell, you are the one who's the expert at helping them make those decisions. That is the new branding that we need to be having as real estate agents. If we are not becoming the expert in our neighborhoods, the big companies will become the expert in our neighborhoods, because they are running AI platforms. Every single one of them is running an AI platform, and whether they're doing it themselves, like a Zillow or a Realtor.com, or whether it's a brokerage. And sorry, I think I was a little bit late this morning, but I just dropped the news about the big acquisition that happened. If you didn't know, Real entered into an agreement to buy Remax, and so that's huge information. And it really means nothing to us if you're trying to build your own brand. If you're trying to build your own brand, head down, focus on what you're supposed to be focusing on, and build your 2 to 3 or 4 or 10 transactions a month. Okay. So number one, market reports, hyper local, using AI to help build the templated email, the templated text, the templated program, and then dropping it into your CRM of choice. Again, if you want to know how to use High Level, or if you want to be part of the program where it's automatically dropped in with our company, we've got a CRM called Beacon, but it is on a High Level platform. And so we just build it for our agents. Okay. Number two, using High Level or an associated CRM to create reactivation of your dead leads. What are dead leads? I guarantee I've coached thousands of agents now, and it doesn't matter what size they are. They could be brand new, or they can be, 20, 30, 40, $60 million producers. For the most part, everybody's got information. They've got data from past clients, from friends, from relatives that they're not communicating with. I always say, if you want to know how big your CRM is, download all your Facebook friends, download all your Instagram friends, download all your Gmail friends, download everything in your phone. And it's probably in the thousands for most of us. Okay. Now, we don't all have all that information. And that's the goal of a CRM, is to put it all into one place and start gathering the information, like email addresses, like home addresses, like birthdays, how many kids they have. Those are the great conversations we get to have. And maybe you've got a ton of leads that you purchased. You purchase leads from, various online platforms, and you've got all these leads that are kind of just sitting there, and you're not really talking to them. You're not really following up with them. Most realtors follow up at best with a lead 2 times. But statistically, it takes 5 to 7 times of a lead, following up with a lead, for you to even be able to start to build a relationship, not even build a relationship. So if that's the case, how do you do that? The reason why most agents stop it too is because it's hard to do that at scale. So you've got to have some type of system that allows you to do that. Okay. So how does that work? With a platform like High Level, or with a platform that's not a high level video, but it's a good CRM, not just for real estate, for any service business. But with the platform with High Level, it's an all-in-one platform. You get to run ads, you get to run your texting campaigns, your emails, your websites, your funnels, your forms, your LinkedIn pages, all that kind of stuff you can run out of one system. Not many platforms out there have the ability to be that flexible and do it at such a quality. So that's why I use it. But what you do is you create a 5-touch reactivation sequence, okay, or a campaign, if that's what your CRM calls it. And it's literally just a text, an email, a text, an email, and a final text, okay? And we're talking like within a 21-day period, you're touching them 5 times. Now, I know that the reality is that most of us don't understand how to do that fully. That's where AI comes in. Because AI, whether you use Claude or whether you use ChatGPT or another platform, I would say those are the 2 prominent ones right now. But you can create these texting campaigns from the AI and then put them into the CRM. The CRM, like I said, what we call it Beacon, but it's based on the underlying is High Level, and we don't charge any extra for it for our clients that want to use it. It's just whatever it cost us, that's what it costs them. But we actually put all the templates in there. So we build the templates for them, and then we put it in there. But the reality is you can build it yourself. And you can build the 5 sequence. Just go to ChatGPT or say, I'm trying to reactivate old leads. Give me a sequence with a text and email for over 21 days, and it will create the system. It'll create the emails. And you can actually put in there, let's say you use a CRM like Brivity. If you've ever heard of Brivity, you can say, can you build it so that it makes it easy for me to drop it into Brivity? And it will build it as long as it's got information, as long as that information is on the internet. So the ability to be able to do it on the internet, and that they can draw that information, it will build a sequence for you. So it's almost foolproof. And if you do it that way, I promise you will either find out probably 50 to 75% of the old leads, the dead leads that you have. You'll find out whether they're still in the market, whether they've sold or bought, or whether they're not interested. Okay. And really, at the end of the day, you want your CRM to be a system that you're constantly turning in and out the leads, whether you're turning a lead from a current client to a past client, and you're loving on them until they themselves need to do it again, or they have some friends that want to do it, or you're trying to build that relationship. If you will think of your CRM as just the communication device for your business, okay? And so if you're not communicating with your with your clients, it's because your communication device is broken, okay? At scale, we can't do it for more than about 10 or 12 people at any one time. If you've been in business any length of time and done any type of business in real estate, as a real estate agent, it is next to impossible. I'm not saying you can't, but it's next to impossible to actually help more than about 5 to 6 people at any one time, active buyers and sellers, unless you have systems, because it's a time thing, it's a brain thing, it's a focus thing, it's all the things, right? And so having a system that kind of talks to your people while you're sleeping, talks to your people while you're doing other things, while you're showing houses, while you know that they're getting communicated with when you're out helping current clients. That's how you reactivate some of these dead leads that you may have in your CRM. But if you do not have that information, well, that's the great first call. You call and you give something of value so that you can then get this information. What's a value? What would be a value that you could give to a potential buyer or seller? Great question. Okay, so that's number three. Number three is we're going to talk about how you create a lead magnet from AI. Okay, using a lead magnet as a funnel. If you know what a funnel is, if you don't know what a funnel is, get into our group. Again, it's free, and you'll learn how to do it. You'll learn what a funnel is and what a lead magnet is. But basically, all it is a piece of value. Hopefully, you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is. Gary V. He wrote his first book. I think his first book was Jab, 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 Right Hook. I talk about it all the time, and the reason why I talk about it is because it's a great concept of you have to give value 2 to 3 times before you've earned the right to ask for the business. Okay, so if someone's going to hand over their information, they're going to hand over their contact information willingly, okay, and like happily. They need to know that what they're getting in return is a value. Make sense? I mean, we don't readily hand over our email address and our phone numbers and our all that kind of stuff unless we know that we're going to get something in return. I know everybody who's probably going to be watching this has clicked on a link and it said, if you want this information, put in your name, phone number, and email, and I'll send it over to you. I'll DM it to you. I'll send it in the email. Whatever that is the lead magnet to gather information. You're swapping value for information, right? So how do you build that? If you've never built one before, it can be very time consuming. You can use a Google form, you can use a Facebook form, you can use ClickFunnels. There's all these systems that you can use. What I love about the system that I use, which is the Beacon CRM, is that it allows you to build it all in one spot, and not just build it in one spot, but actually track it. Track the open rates, track the click rate, the click-through rate. It's all connected together. So you're not having to buy 4 or 5 different pieces of software, which is what most of us used to do, and then try to sync them together, whether it's through APIs or whether it's through, other type of system. With a system like High Level, you are able to do that in one shot. Okay. So how do you do that? How do you actually create the lead magnet? Here's the thing. It needs to be very, very specific. The world we live in today, general statements like 5 lead flows not going to get anything. But how to get 5 listings in 30 days, that's a more specific hook, right? So making sure that when you do things, when you create things, it's a very specific creation, value add for a very specific audience. Great thing with AI is you can create multiples for multiple different audiences. But you can't, there's a sales saying out there that's been around for generations. If you speak to everyone, you sell to no one. Okay. So if you speak to everyone, you sell to no one. You have to be very specific in who you're trying to talk to. So if you're talking to first-time home buyers, if you're talking to people who are downsizing, if you're talking to people who are upsizing, who need a bigger house for their family, if you're talking to people who are relocating, if you're talking to people that are veterans, you have to target those people because there's so much noise in the ether right now with social media and internet and all the streaming platforms that if you do not catch their ear, they're not going to hear it. It doesn't mean that your information is bad. It's just they don't hear it, okay? Because there's so much information out there and everybody's trying to target those specific people. So how do you actually create it? Create a free resource. Number one, create a free resource. You can do this with ChatGPT or Claude, and then put it into Canva. Okay, and Canva has AI as well, and you can use a template. And within about 15 or 20 minutes, depending on how adept you are at these platforms, you could create an online resource, a booklet, a checklist. Okay, so here'd be the example: 2026 Fort Worth first-time home buyer checklist. Okay, let me say it again. 2026 Fort Worth first-time buyer checklist. 7 things you must do before you make an offer. 7 things you must do before you make an offer. Now, if you're a first-time home buyer and that comes across your Facebook feed and you're thinking about purchasing a home, you might click on that because you want to make sure that you've checked everything before you make a purchase of something that is big as a home, especially being a first-time home buyer, because it's the biggest financial decision guaranteed that they've ever had up to that point. So that is a great resource for someone who is looking to maybe purchase a home in the next few months. It's very specific, it's local, okay? And it's immediately useful. And you can create that document, you can create that online form, whatever you want to create it through Canva and through Claude and ChatGPT. You can create that in less than 30 minutes. So 30 minutes in your calendar. I talk about all the time if you're in my coaching programs. You hear about me, your calendar is your boss. 30 minutes in your calendar on a Monday and a Wednesday for the next month. For the month of May, you'll have 8 to 10 resources that you can then take and build a campaign around. Okay, so how do you build a campaign? All you have to do is go into Facebook. Okay, now again, if you have a system like High Level, you can go into High Level and go, and it connects to your Facebook ad platform. But you go into Facebook and you create an ad, okay, and you use that as the offer. Create the thumbnail. Ask ChatGPT or Claude to create the thumbnail for you, or go to Canva and create it. Target specific people. Now, obviously, with real estate, there's so many people that you can target, but target an area. Okay, you can target usually within 15 miles and spend $5 on traffic. Okay, it's $5 on traffic, offering this form for information. I promise you this: if you spend $5 on that, you're going to get impressions. Depending on how you set your ad up, you're going to get impressions, you're probably going to get clicks, and you're probably going to get at least 1 or 2 referrals. Now, is that going to convert into actual deals? Don't know. But you are going to get someone who's interested in a checklist for Fort Worth for a first-time home buyer. Does that make sense? I'm not going to click on that, right? You may not click on that. That may not be who you are. But if you're trying to target first-time home buyers in Fort Worth, that's a great resource to give them. And it took you 30 minutes to fit, 30 minutes to build, and it took you $5 to spend. Okay. And if you did $5 a day, think about over a course of a month, $5 times 30 is $150 in a month. That may or may not be something that you can afford right now. But what if you spent $10 a week, $40, and you got 15 or 20 leads from it that were all specifically looking for a checklist for first-time home buyers in the Fort Worth area? Think about that. Okay. Could that excite you? Could that make you actually build maybe more of them for people who are downsizing, if you specialize in veterans, things like that? These are the ways that you create your own leads, and you create your own lead flow in a way that you're not having to rely on everybody else. Okay, so I'm going to recap this, and then I'm going to answer any questions. I've got some questions in the feed that I'm seeing, and I want to make sure that if you're interested in this, again, get into, I have a couple of different coaching companies. One's a paid one, one's free. The free is the Marketing Edge. It's got the link in the bio here or in the description. Just click it. But I want to recap real quick the 3 different ways that you literally this week, before the end of the week, it's a Monday. This is a Monday call. I'm going to try to do these every single Monday live and answer any questions that come up. But if you will just initiate 1, 2, maybe all of them this week, you can start seeing leads flow into your CRM and into your business that maybe you would have never seen before, just because you are going after and you're attracting people that want to have conversation with you. And I don't know about you, but I've been in the business for a long time, and I've coached thousands of realtors now. And it is a lot better to have conversations with people who call you or who that give you the information than you having to go out and you having to cold call. I have nothing against cold calling. I have nothing against calling expireds or FSBOs. I think it's a great way to build a business from a consistency standpoint. And it's not an easy conversation, especially when you first start, right? Okay, so number 1, AI neighborhood reports. Using AI to create neighborhood reports and then putting them in your CRM on a monthly basis. Remember, time on task over time. Don't send it once. You got to commit to sending this every month, and it's hard to do it if you don't have a system to do it. Okay, so get a system, whether it's your own CRM, whether it's a CRM like that we offer, that we actually put this information in there, or whether it's another CRM. Get a system, because AI is almost in every piece of software nowadays. Okay, whether it's your CRM or whether it's Canva, everybody's got AI built into their systems now, and it's going to continue to go better and better and better. And I've got a guy blowing leaves right out inside my office. So that's awesome. But so sorry if you hear it. And You can't do this business much longer without utilizing some type of AI and some type of system that gives you the ability to leverage the information of the internet. Okay. So number one, AI neighborhood reports. Number two, using a CRM, go high level. If you want to buy that on your own, I don't have a affiliate link. I might someday, but I don't have one right now. Or you can get into our coaching program, and we offer the CRM, and to do dead lead reactivation. So all the leads in your database, all the leads that maybe you've gathered over the years or over the months, putting them in there and putting them on an actual campaign that will at least get you to find out, are they still in the market? Are they interested? Or have they used somebody else? Okay. And then number three, some type of AI lead magnet. By creating the creation of these type of tools is no longer the barrier of entry. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to figure out which one's the best or anything like that. That's where AI comes in. That's where our artificial intelligence allows us to utilize the knowledge of the internet to build this, okay, within a very, very short period of time, sometimes within seconds, and then create the document, whether it's through Canva. If you use Claude like I do, Claude creates a lot of the documents now, so you don't even have to use Canva. And this is constantly going to change. So if you're watching this 2 years from now, you know for a fact that what I'm talking about is going to be antiquated, because the AI is going to continue to build, and it's going to be something where you just say, do this, and it's going to probably get it done. So understanding that this is the game, okay? And I'm going to talk specifically about something in just a second. But if you will do these three things and commit to building just one of them this week, put that in the chat. Put it in, whether you're in Facebook or whether you're in YouTube. Just say, I'm going to commit to one of these this week. And here's what I will promise you. The original thumbnail on this had 5 AI tools. I couldn't put 5 in a 30-minute call. We're in 4 minutes from doing this. So I did 3. But on Thursday, I'm going to drop a actual recording of going through one of these. Okay. I'm going to go through one of these step by step and build it on the video. So if you want to have a preference of which one you want to have me build, because I've built all 3 of them already, so I'll go through and I'll actually build it for you. Just put that in the chat, and whoever gives me the most amount of ones, I will create the video, drop it in on Thursday, and you'll have a full how-to video on it, to make sure that that hopefully you've already started building it, and you're just going to use that video, because that's Thursday, it's Monday. So hopefully on Thursday, you're just using it to make sure that you maybe did it right, or you did it the way I was talking about. And I'll make sure that that's the video that we release. So probably going to do that video probably tomorrow, and then we'll release it on Thursday. And if you've gotten anything out of value of this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you join the Facebook group. Tell your friends. The reason why I'm doing this on YouTube now, many of the people in the Facebook group know, is that it allows me to reach a wider audience. We've started building some communities outside of our local community in Texas, and I wanted to reach as many as I could, to be able to help you guys take the next step into your hero story. My coaching company is called The Hero Edge. We uncover, discover, and realize the hero in your own story, and I want to make sure I help you with that. So with that, let me answer any questions, since this is a live and it's not pre-recorded. So it says, do you give the information in the ad, or have them click and ask for the information and send it directly? Great question, Sherry. So what you want to do is you want to lead with the information, but you don't want to give them the information. You don't want to give them the checklist. You want them to fill out a form so that you have the information to contact to them. So you want to build the ad in such a way that it's a teaser, right? And again, use AI to help you with the wording, a teaser, so that they will give you the information and download it. That's the best way to do it. Okay, I know how to make an ad and boost it, but not sure about the other. Okay, so the great thing is, get in the group, ask me that question. And again, just click the link if you're not in the group already. And I will answer any question inside that group. I'll give you the resource that I'm talking about, so that you can take a look at it. And I'm not real sure what you mean by not sure about the other, make the ad and boost it, but not sure about the other. That's probably has more to do with the AI piece of it, but I'll be more than happy to answer that question for you on a DM. And then, okay, it says website to capture clicks and or possible leads. Okay, great. So here's the thing. The great thing about these things, guys, is once you build them, it's built. Okay. Not that you're not going to be tweaking it, but once you're able to turn these things on and you learn how to do these simple, and it's not as hard as most people think it is, especially in the world we live in now. It's very intuitive, especially as you start getting, if you know how to run Facebook, if you know how to go into Facebook and put a message in, and go into Facebook and put a post in, and go into Facebook and upload a video. If you can do that, you can run ads. I promise you. It's not as hard as you think. It just takes you a little bit of time to learn how to do this piece of it. But once you learn, that is a skill that will benefit your business for at least years to come. Now, yes, there are companies that will build it for you, but there's literally, when you're looking at your business, it's time versus money. If you don't have a ton of money, if you don't have a ton of resources to have someone build it for you, then you get to build it because you're going to spend your time. And I would tell you, closing with this, as a coach, I would always tell you, unless you have a vast amount of resources, you want to know if they're doing a good job. And the only way to really know if they're doing a good job is to actually know what they're doing. Okay, so you should have some knowledge of how to build an ad, or what an ad should look like, or what the impressions and the click-throughs, some of that looks like, so that if you do hire someone, you actually can gauge whether they are doing a good job or not, if the return on investment is actually worth the money being spent. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I think this is the first time we've gotten some comments on YouTube, so I appreciate you guys watching on YouTube too. This is a process, and we're going to be building this channel out starting this week. You're going to see a lot of videos drop probably the next month, in addition to these lives. All right. So if you need anything, again, catch me at Kevin Harris, the Marketing Edge. Just click on the link, jump in there. You can DM me at all anytime. I appreciate you guys. Go be the hero in your own story. All right. Peace and love.